Hey, welcome to the what? But let's get into the next part of the show, man. The lightweight division, man. Since Dustin Poirier comes out victorious, how do you feel about the lightweight division? You put that 5 minutes on the clock. Let's get into it.
So, all right. First and foremost, we have a new, refreshing. Is that what we want to say? Lightweight matchup.
Refreshing.
You know,
that ain't refreshing.
It's not rehashing. It's not a rematch. It's not, it's a fight where we have to speculate what might happen, who could win, in Charles Oliveira versus Dustin Poirier. You still got Justin Gaethje waiting in the wings. Beneil Dariush beat Tony Ferguson.
Yeah.
In that last outing, so he's up there. Michael Chandler, who suffered a setback from the champion, is still in the mix. Connor's gonna fall. We're just gonna leave him out. But with that being said, is the lightweight division still dynamic?
Now,
without Connor forcefully being put in the mix, and Khabib retiring.
No.
Is the lightweight division the premier division?
No.
Okay.
Hell no. The only
who would win the belt?
The only one in the lightweight division that is even remotely wanting to watch right now is Dariush. That's the only one.
I could have sworn you was gonna say Justin Gaethje.
No, Justin Gaethje lost his last fight.
Also true.
And Dustin Poirier is finally turning the corner, being the champion that we want him to be. But he took 2 money fights, the last 2 fights. He should have fought for the belt this fight, but it is what it is. I mean, I would have loved to see Dustin versus Michael Chandler, but it is what it is. Right now, we're gonna get Dustin. We're gonna get Dustin versus Charles, which I feel like is not gonna be a money draw. Michael Chandler, with his loss against Charles Oliveira, just put himself in a boat where he's just like with everybody else now. His top game is good, but when you take an L, you got to get back on top. So you got to win 2 fights before you even get to the point where you can have another title fight.
Does he? Wait a minute. Does he?
You got Justin Gaethje waiting in the.
Is Justin Gaethje waiting, or is Justin Gaethje going to fight? Because if we play matchmaker, you got Charles Oliveira versus Dustin Poirier, and then you got Michael Chandler versus Justin Gaethje.
But do you have Michael Chandler versus Justin Gaethje, or do you have Michael Chandler versus Dariush? Because Dariush comes off a big fight against. He comes off the big win against Tony Ferguson.
I like the fact that Dariush is where he is, and I surely appreciate Beneil Dariush. But I think what happens is there's a cue in that lineup of waiting time, and Dariush isn't going to do that skip over part like a McGregor or a Sean O'Malley or somebody would be.
But
he's gonna have to wait for them other boys who have been waiting already, because Connor is holding things up, because rematch of the money fight is holding things up, because then we still got to get a title fight from the guy who won this money match. Things up.
This division is not as intriguing as it was a year ago. If Conor wins one of the fights against Dustin Poirier, and then Conor goes and fights Charles Oliveira for the championship belt, then the division itself is back on top to the point where it's like you want to watch the lightweight division. With Conor losing the last 2 fights, this division is not in a place where it's like intriguing anymore. It isn't. So because you got Justin, who lost, Michael Chandler lost, Conor McGregor lost, you got Charles Oliveira, who's not a big drawer. You got Dariush, who's up and comer. Well, not really up and comer, but he's up and coming now.
Yeah, turning the corner.
Yeah, and he's not a household name. It's like you don't have household names at the top anymore. You don't. You can actually look at this division and say, let's go somewhere else.
Okay. All right.
I feel like the fighters and the women's 125 division is a lot more intriguing than this one.
125? Hold on, I think you said the wrong number. 125, that's Shevchenko's division. Ain't nobody gonna come near her.
I think it's more intriguing than this.
What? Hold on. At 125, you got Andrade, who got beat by the champ. Chukagian got beat by the champ. Lauren Murphy, I'm pretty sure, got beat by the champ. Maya Cynthia Calvillo, JoJo Calderwood, Jessica. Nah, I don't believe that. I believe you might
I'm
you
just
you
saying.
accidentally wanted to say Strawway. Now, Bobby brings up a point. He said Oliveira finishes fights though. So if that's the case, at least in this, we're not gonna get the decision finishes.
No, you're not. You're not. You're not. But
But again, so let's go back. Let's go back to Connor because I agree with you, even though I'm doing the little devil's advocate kind of thing. I 100% agree with you because all the fans out here do all of this stuff where they're like, "Ah, man, I hate Connor. I don't like this, that, and the other, and I can't believe Karma and all this, that, and the other." Right?
yeah,
But the first thing they did when they woke up that morning, yesterday, was like, "Hey, who you got in the Connor fight?"
you're right.
B, well, let me call Luke and them and see what they doing for the fight. They got the burgers, they put them on the grill, they went to the bar, they did everything for that fight. And then when Connor lost, they went, "Oh, I told you so, and I love it." But take that same energy and say Dustin Poirier versus Charles Oliveira for the lightweight title fight, let's say in 4 months. You know, I say in 4 months.
You can go early in that.
Yeah, Dustin
Dustin
ain't
didn't take
really
no
did no
damage.
damage.
Dustin take no
Okay,
damage.
let's call it 3 weeks. 3 weeks, 3 months. Let's call
God,
it.
no.
I way early. Call it 3 months, and it is still fresh in everyone's mind, right? I don't think 60% of those people show up to that fight, even though there was an entire country rooting for Dustin Poirier. No one's gonna show up to that next fight. They're not gonna be charging extra at the door to cover the extra that they charge for a Charles Oliveira versus Dustin Poirier fight. Even though
No,
all the diehards are gonna be like, "Yo, it's gonna be some smoke in the ceiling," but they're not gonna be there. So
no.
maybe you are right. Maybe you are right with that.
This
That
you
that
we might as well go to the 170 division and look at that because that might be more intriguing than this one. We might well
nah.
go to the bantamweight division. That might be more intriguing than this one. I don't see it. I just don't see it. I
I
don't
don't
see
I
it.
don't know what division is more intriguing. Orlando said that's only because the UFC doesn't push the stars. They don't, you know. And I
They
and I
push
and I get it.
they
It's
push money, man. Whoever has the most following, that's who they're gonna push, dog.
but it's not. It's not.
It's all about the Benjamins, dog. It's all about the Benjamins.
But what I can say about that, and I get it and I understand. Uh, I get it that it's not their job to push fighters. Like, does the NFL push those guys,
Yeah.
or does the stats that
No, NFL
they
pushes
put?
those guys.
Okay,
The
so
NFL pushes the guys that are marketable because some guys can have the same stats and not be as marketable because they don't speak as well as some other individuals. So you see those who speak well on TVs. You see those who speak well at conferences and at things where or events where you utilize the things that was God given to you, where you your looks, your good looks, and on top of that, you can speak with good looks. You can make a lot of money, and you don't even have to be that good on the field. Just look at Jimmy Garoppolo. Jimmy Garoppolo is not as good on the field as he is with God given gifts, which is he looks good and he presents well on TV, and he has a good talk game. So it is what it is.
I understand that. I understand that. When you talk stats, Oliveira has that. Oliveira is a finisher. He is.
I don't
But
care. I don't
but
like
I
watching
can I can say Charles Oliveira. Hey, I should have did that yesterday at the fights. I could have been like, "Man, how y'all feel about Charles Oliveira?" And just see how many people go, "Who?"
it. Exactly.
The champion in the division that whoever win this fight was gonna fight next. Oh, oh, no, I don't know him.
That was been
To
good hot
have some
takes.
to have Charles Oliveira, the champion, the finisher, and everything, and no one knows who he is.
Yeah.
Okay, I can see how I can see how that. But then again, It's got to be on Oliveira to do something about that too. He could run a Facebook ad.
Well, I mean, if Oliveira was, I, I mean, I don't want to talk about the guy, but I feel like if he learned English and was more relatable with the U.S. fans, then I feel like he'd have a better following.
Does he have to
But
though? Because Anderson
he
didn't
doesn't.
really. And
What?
Anderson's
What?
famous line was, "I back."
Well, Anderson Silva was different though because he had inside the cage antics that people enjoyed. Some people enjoyed, and some people didn't enjoy. I don't feel like Charles Oliveira has that charisma like Anderson Silva. It's a
Okay.
little different.
Okay.
Yeah, Anderson Silva had charisma. It's like when you watch Anderson Silva fight, it was just like, oh shoot, he's gonna do something crazy.
Okay.
And when you watch Charles Oliveira fight, you like he's gonna do something crazy, but I don't really want to watch it.
Okay. Uh-huh. Okay. I get it. And then everybody was like, Charles Oliveira, ain't that cowboy? No, that's a different Oliveira. I can see it. I
Yeah,
can see it. All
yeah.
right.